Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamra. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this morning. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate your support so much for this channel. Okay. Not only this channel, but my second channel. If you have not subscribed to Real Talk with Tamara 2 TOO, go and subscribe to that. I also have Real Talk with Tamara backup page. So make sure you guys also go and subscribe to that too. Hold on. Yeah. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to Real Talk with Tamara backup page. Um, I wanted to talk about will Yo Gotti go down for what happened to Young Dolph? Okay. You know, this Young Dolph's case has a lot of like twists and turns, and I know because of the dynamics of the case and how heinous um Lee how heinous his unaliving was. Okay, we have to say unaliving on YouTube. um how heinous it was in nature, and um like I said, the dynamics and the players and the names that have come up as far as rappers that are well known, right? A lot of the other names, um I think for some people it makes for a really good suspense, um dramatic type situation, and there are others who um truly want to see, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying those who the suspense pull people in of who's next, who's gonna be indicted, did he really do it? And you know, um, some people go back and forth with, well, why would he do it? He had a lot going on also. This, and that. I think that is what continuously pull people in to this sad debacle, right? Um, and so, I think people are just waiting because as we know, there will be more indictments, right? I've been saying that for the longest, and I was told about a month ago that something is supposed to happen. And this is November, okay, so this month. And so, um, people are, because of the history with Young Dolph and Yo Gotti, it's got a lot of people wondering, will he go down? I think I would say people are split down the middle. I don't necessarily think people are split down the middle. I just think that Gotti has a fan base who either don't want to know and don't care, or I don't know. You know how people don't want to digest certain things. And so, it goes back to, I think, one of the reasons too, like I've been very interested in it, is because um you know just because of how I see firsthand how after Young Dolph was assassinated, right? um it seems like there was a spirit released into the atmosphere, as far as like the citizens of Memphis. You have a lot of these young gang members now that are at war. And I believe that it somewhat started with what happened, to Young Dolph. And I think the thing that's so sad to me is I see people that come from around Gotti's camp that seem to marvel at all of this heinous bludgeoning and you know genocide that is going on in the city of Memphis, and even help to egg it on, right? And so I think it leaves people wondering, will Yo Gotti go down? Okay. And at this point, Yo Gotti has not been indicted, you know. People go, well, they ain't did nothing to him. We know that things can go on forever, especially when people know that someone played a part in it and they have a determination to get them because of a history of and a pattern of doing certain things, and knowing that now folks ain't got no pride. They stay on their knees for some money, especially a lot of these men now, right? Anytime you let somebody have you to go do time, somebody can pay you to go do time for them and take you away from your children and your family, and they pay you to go spend years in jail, because a year is too long to go do time for somebody else. And you have children, that's you putting them and their family before you put your own children. And I think that's the reason why we see a lot of the anger that we do in these kids, because a lot of them are being put last. You know what I mean? Sometimes if it's not mama putting another man first, it's daddy putting another man first, right? And so it makes them angry, right? When you can be paid to go off and do time for another man and leave your woman, your wife, your children, your mother heartbroken, just for another man, right? To me, is very sickening, right? But like I said, you hear people say, "Well, it's not going to touch him," but I beg to differ. I beg to differ, and this is just in my opinion. I do believe, I do believe that at some point, um, he will be okay. I, I've always I look at patterns. Okay, I look at patterns of what happened to young Dolph, right? And so sometimes you have to go back to the very beginning, when this situation was going on between Young Dolph and Yo Gotti and all of them. And Young Doc would always say, even as it relates to Black Youngster, he would say, I didn't have no issues with Black Youngster. Mr. Talaferro, even like 2 months after they shot up his van, Mr. Talaferro said, hey, Young Dolph even spoke highly of you. It was like he was constantly, Young Dolph wanted to just make the money. And regardless of what was in the rap, because rap had been created from beefing anyways. This man wanted to came from nothing, just like the rest of them, just like Gotti, Black Youngster, Big Jug, um, Moneybag, all the rest of them, Zachary, Randolph, Head, all of them that's making some money. Um, he just, he wanted to be there for his children and provide a living for his kids. And so they can't say Young Dolph was getting money off of Yo Gotti's name, because Young Dolph he already had the money when he came into the game, right? Game, him and Daddy are right. That's how they was able to get into the game. They went and built up their bag, or already had a bag, right? So he can't say that, right? Whatever had gone on between Yo Gotti and Young Dolph, it never should have escalated to the point where they were continuously trying to take his life. Now, let me go back. Okay. So even when you hear, because I'm kind of putting the cart before the horse, even when you hear Yo Gotti, you hear Young Dolph talk about the situation with Yo Gotti and Black Youngster and all of that. He never had anything to say about Black Youngster. You go, this ain't even between me and him. First of all, this is between me and his boss. Okay. I don't even know Black Youngster. And so I went back, God let me go back to the beginning when I was on live last night, and I found a interview where Mr. Teleferro was interviewing Black Youngster. And you could just tell from the energy of Black Youngster that he did not at that point have a hate for Young Dolph, which makes it so sad. Okay, he didn't even have a hate at that point, and you could tell by the energy. It was just like he was being just like a soldier, right? He was being somebody's soldier being sent out to bludgeon a father, a human being, to tamper with his life, even though this did not involve him. When, when people talk about Black youngsters' talent, whether he got talent or not, he was able to draw a crowd based on his quirky personality. Because I even used to laugh at a lot of his stuff, and it's funny because he had this song called "I Could Do Anything," and they took it off of the internet, right? And he put that video out, and I liked it because I would go listen to it. And this was like a month before Young Dolph was hit. And then all of a sudden it mysteriously disappeared when he says, I guess because, the video where he's smiling when he said, we sent 100 shots through the sky, that pussy nigga played, he gonna die. They removed that video, but somebody screen recorded it because it's still out there, right? It's hard to find, but it's out there, right? And I think it was so because it was going up. A lot of people like that, the even because I go back to, I think the people we should have chosen. I think the people should have chosen. When all of this popping, this shooting and stuff was going on, when you start trying to shoot at somebody and take their lives, then it is definitely gone too far. This is the rap game, and anytime you start bringing the streets to the rap game, a person like that should not even be supported. I remember a time when it was like that, and it's going to have to go back to that. And it can go back to that if parents put their feet down and stop listening to the music, stop supporting the artists that feel like they need to demonstrate whatever it is that they're putting on their music, and stop their children from supporting it. You'll see the record execs that are in the back rooms that are putting the battery in the backs of people like Gotti and them. You will see them change because it's all about the green money. So them, they couldn't give a damn about the Black lives. They don't give a damn about. Okay. As a matter of fact, what they do is they encourage this type of movement as it relates to the energy of our people, because everybody makes money off of taking advantage of and making a damn ass out of Black people. And like I say, the thing that bothers me so bad is people like Yo Gotti and them um, ought to have some type of pride where they say, "Well, I ain't gonna commit or participate in committing genocide in my community for a damn check or the illusion of being this famous star." They ought to be ashamed of themselves. And so, when people go, "Well, you got to go down for Young Dolph," it is in my opinion, okay, and I have reason to believe this, that he will, okay. Even when you hear people say, well, they already got people lined up, that is going to take the fall. This is what has been happening for years. And so, because of the people that have been watching, he says himself that he's been up on the investigation. The feds have been watching him for a long time. A pattern. You sit up and you think you're going to play in the face of the feds. Y'all try to take him out twice that we know of, and then finally do it and think you're going to get some fool that don't give a damn about themselves to go and do the time. You got somebody lined up to go do the time, so that when another artist comes along like a Young Dolph and you get jealous or have issues with him, you could pay another damn fool to go and do life. It ain't gonna work out like that. And because we serve a just God, that's just not how it's gonna work out. The laws of the earth is you have to reap what you sow. And it's not me wishing anything on your Gotti. It's just the laws of the earth says you have to reap what you sow. And so when I say I have reason to believe that he will, okay, it is because I've heard that he will at some point. It's not going to be a cakewalk. I think that he's not going to get on his social medias and things of that nature and talk about the pressure and stuff that he has been under. He'll just put it in little subliminals, talk about in songs, or show his anger by releasing something on Young Dolph's birthday. It consistently shows his horns, right? I think one of the reasons why I'm so angry at Yo Gotti is because I was I knew Yo Gotti's music. I didn't know Young Dolph's music like that, right? Young Dolph was a different era, and he was blowing up. I'm talking about behind Gotti, but he managed to work hard. Okay, and then looking at some of his videos, he he paid in the beginning, he paid homage to Yo Gotti, calling him the big dog and all of that. And I think it's sad that Yo Gotti, coming from a different era, he already know that it wasn't supposed to work out like that. Because see, he could have changed. You have somebody like Black Youngster, uh, who people go, well, Black Youngster did that on his own. Black Youngster has always wanted, you could tell, the approval of Yo Gotti. So it's hard for me to believe, and I absolutely just flat out don't believe it, and nobody else don't, that if Yo Gotti had told Black Youngster to change his energy, we got to get money. I can't have you on my label. I can't get money with you doing this. Hey, he wouldn't have changed his energy, but he did not do it because he pushed him to do the very ultimate, put a battery in his back. And that's the reason why Black Youngster having the mental breakdowns and stuff right now, because Black Youngster come from a family that I know, okay, because I grew up around his family that has a hardcore God base at the core, right? And so I know he understands the laws of the earth. I don't know what God it come from, but I know Black Youngster understands that the laws of the earth is that whatever a man soweth, that's just what he's gonna reap, right? And I think he's really, accepted it. You know what I mean? Which is probably why he's been out of the way. Okay. Other than not wanting for them to spot him and hit him, right? But I think it's a shame for that it had to go this far, because like I said, we supported Yo Gotti. When people get through talking about how Yo Gotti kind of talked about the mindset of Memphis and things of that nature, the Memphians supported him when nobody else knew him. We love Five Star Chick. We bumped that. Okay. I can remember me and my cousins going to the mall and stuff. My cousins who loved him to death used to hang out with him and stuff, and getting his CDs and stuff. Okay. So I think it's sad that it came to this, but I would have to say it came to this because of Yo Gotti and his camp. Because regardless to what Young Dolph said, okay, it wasn't like they weren't throwing shots back at him. As a matter of fact, they was doing worse than what Young Dolph could have ever said. They was trying to hit at that man's life. Anytime you pop up a car, your camp hit this man, okay? You doing the very ultimate. You doing too much. It should have ended their careers. Like I said, it should have. It should have at least ended had them in such um um a financial deficit of not selling anything to the point where they completely did a 360. Because see, when you start messing with people's money, that's when they change their mindset, right? But as long as they think that there are going to be no repercussions, they just continuously go on. And I think the good thing about it is they know, regardless to whether they say it or not, they know that there is going to be repercussions this time. Okay. And the reason I have to say that I hate it is because it never should have gone this far. It never should have. It went absolutely too far. It did. So will he go down for Young Dolph? The laws of the earth says you have to reap whatever a man soweth. That's just what he's gonna reap. He planted those seeds. I don't give a damn how many layers of people that he put underneath to cushion that he think it ain't gonna get to him. That sword ain't gonna get to him because he think he planted, got enough damn fools that's willing to fall for him. It ain't gonna work out this time. Especially when people know the source. Okay. When people know the source. Um, I understand that he's got fans and stuff. I hate that it happened. I wish Young Dolph could get up out of his grave. And then I wish Yo Gotti wouldn't have to go to jail, right? So if Young Dolph could get up out of his grave, right, then hey, Yo Gotti wouldn't have to go to jail. You know, when people say, well, you just the police, you know, you just work with them folks, you be wanting to see everybody in jail. I want to see anybody in jail that is committing genocide in their very own community, that is violating people in any shape or form. I absolutely do. And what they did was the very ultimate, and it wasn't enough to take him out. They want to taunt his family, his children, and his fans. I think it was absolutely despicable that that video that Black Youngster put out, you know, right after he was assassinated. Young Doc was not even cold in his grave. And kiss my ass, okay? Because I know how it works. He couldn't have put that video out if it was not approved by his CEO. He approved it, and I think Black Youngster knows at some point he got to play the game that they used him. They wanted to throw him away, and he started having them breakdowns, and they knew it would not be conducive to their livelihood to throw him away. And so anytime they want to kick up something else, they go and get him and pull him back into the mess. But I think one of the reasons they had him to put out that video is because people knew from the beginning, the police, so the folks was talking the night it happened. Okay, right? So they wanted all of that energy, all of that negative energy to be on Black Youngster. Whereas if anybody had to get they leak, anybody had to be hit, it was gonna be him. Right. And maybe they, you know, they would have been even, the score would have been even or whatever. But God ain't let it work out like that, because they got to live to reap. Right. They got to live to reap. Right. And so, you know, like I said, I really hate that the energy, that type of energy, especially as an African American woman, who absolutely do love Black men, the ones that's worth the damn. Okay, Young Doc was a Black man that adored his children, that was providing for his family, and even in death, because he was a real man, he's providing for his children and his family. And it's unfortunate that other Black men did not want to see that. They was so emotionally jealous that they could not stand to see um, that happen. Okay. So do I think he will go down? Of course, because God got to get his lick back. It ain't even about us no more. This is about God. And he says, when I get him back, you're going to see me get him back. And then he said, vengeance is mine. And when he says vengeance is mine, he said, I will repay them for the evil that they've done. That means he got to get his lick back. And that God lick back ain't nothing like what man can do. You know what I mean? His lick back is way worse than what man could ever do, because he's all powerful. I don't give a damn about no Illuminati, Illuminati, Boominati, whatever it is. I just know that there is a source that money can't put a hit on. They can't touch that. Like MC Hammer said, they can't touch that, and that's what's got them frustrated. And so God got to get his lick back. Okay, he got to get his lick back. He was angry when they did that to Dolph, and he shook the earth that night. And so that was an indication of what was to come, that he was getting ready to shake their lives up. And I think, you know, what somebody was telling me, even like maybe earlier this year, late last year, that them folks were so stressed out that you know, the person was saying they feel like when they'll be relieved when the folks come and get them. They can stop looking over their damn shoulder. The anticipation of when that stuff gonna drop, you know, is what's getting to them, right? But not knowing, right, is and putting trying to send hits and put hits on folks and consistently getting them involved in a bunch of crap. It ain't gonna change nothing other than a life sentence to death penalty. And I think a lot of them probably want that because they don't want to serve life in prison. They rather for these young dudes to take them out or for them to send them to the chair than to have to stay in prison, because they mentally they ain't strong enough. A lot of them ain't never even been to prison, right? So will he go down for Young Dolph's murder? Yeah, eventually. And when people say, "Well, he didn't have nothing to do with it. He didn't pull the trigger." Okay, well, um, all of this started with him. I'm gonna say this: it started with him, as I always say. It started with him, and it's gonna end with him. And it's a damn disappointment that he did not put an end to this. And so when people say, that it has something to do with a girl, it could have. I believe that it did, but hell, I think it was just more so jealousy. I do. I think it was more so jealousy. Because if your feelings hurt about a girl, hell, I'm pretty sure his baby's mother wasn't a virgin when he met her. Okay. So when these men get to losing their damn mind about thinking that they women laying up and being with other men, hell, them folks were no damn virgin when they met them. So I don't know why they let that run them crazy, right? I think it had more so to do with jealousy. I can't stand to see you be blessed. I'm gonna send the weakest link out, and in the process, it's a whole lot of people's lives been messed up, to include young Dolphs. Yo, Gotti ain't gonna admit it. Heels, black youngsters, Big Chuck, because guess what? All of them got to go away from their kids and the rest of these people that were involved. Okay, that's gonna come out, as time go on, right? It ain't nothing hidden. It ain't nothing hidden. I think because of we serve a mighty good God. When the night that it happened, there were people that may not have even cared for young Dolph, but they didn't want him dead. Okay. And those are some of the people who knew firsthand that it was gonna go down. Man, I ain't care for the nigga, but damn, they ain't have to kill him. Man, that was messed up. Those are the ones that have been, that God has been using, right? But yeah, will he go down for young Dolph's murder? Mm-hmm. Sure will. He sure is. Because God got to get his lick back. Okay. And when you play in the face of the feds, I don't care how many high price attorneys you get. Okay. It ain't gonna work out. Especially when they've been collecting for years. You have a history, your people have a history of trying to take this boy out and then finally do it. I think it's a darn shame before God. It never should have happened. It never should have happened. It didn't. It never should have. It never should get to the point where you're encouraging people to go and take out somebody's child. It's just evil on so many levels. And God got to get his lick back. And trust me, God getting his lick back. Okay. But anyways, you guys, I just wanted to get on here and talk about that because I think it's sad, and the energy that has been released into the atmosphere is just sad on so many levels. Seeing all the genocide in Memphis, I've never seen it like this before. I still have a deep love for the city and for the communities that because I was born and raised in Memphis, but I just think that it's sad. It hurt me so bad to have to move on the outside of Memphis. You know what I mean? It hurt me. But hey, God got to get his lick back. God getting his lick back. And so what these people need to understand, because I know sometimes people feel like, well, I done messed up my life, so I don't really care what I do with. They ain't out here spinning. They sending some of these little dudes out. If you don't care about your own damn life, why don't you care about some of these little dudes? A lot of these little dudes don't know what love look like. So they feel like somebody's showing them love by trusting them to go be a damn hitman and the feds looking at them. Okay. Now he got to go do life in prison. And when he go to prison, these dudes that know that they took out their homie, they still ain't satisfied with him going to prison because they wanted to take him out. So now while he in jail, they looking at his little brother that they ain't had nothing to do with it. These folks need to care about their families more than they do some damn money. No person that cares about you is going to ask you to go and commit a hit because they already know what comes behind that. Okay. First of all, that's the reason why these fathers need to be back in their children's lives. And I mean, healthily be back in their lives and instill something in them. People know right from wrong. Mothers need to be validating their children. So when, even if they street dudes and these damn dime store OGs walk up to them dangling money in their face, they can say, no, it ain't worth it. My life might not be much to you, but it's something to me. I got kids that's looking at me that think I'm the world. Okay. They think I'm Superman, and I love that, even though I ain't got much. I make it happen for my kids. I ain't going to jail for you. You ain't putting me in a position to be retaliated on. But it's unfortunate that they don't know nothing about that because it ain't been instilled in there. It ain't no foundation. And these OGs ought to be ashamed of they pissy ass selves. Okay. And so now I guess not the possibility, but the reality of them going to jail, because I don't wish death on nobody. Okay. I can't do it. I'm not going to. All right. um I do believe in justice. Okay. And so the possibility of them going to jail, when they go to jail, they have a whole lot of stuff to hey, their reaping still happens. So they got to sit in jail for the rest of their life with a damn high blood pressure and diabetes and glaucoma and gout. Okay, pissing and shitting all on themselves with a pamper on. In miserable in they cell, mad because the jailers don't want to come and change their damn diapers because they bowels and stuff. They shitting everywhere. Okay, that's that God get back, and it's gonna happen. Okay, so hey, you reap what you sow. That's all I got to say. All right. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. Okay. I love you guys. Talk with you later.